Guys, and welcome to part 2 of our lesson. Now, the question might come up, why are we doing this on paper before we do it on canvas? And in case you didn't know, this is a canvas picture. The reason is because I want you to practice with gouache. It has a different feel than regular paint, so I'd rather you practice it on paper before you shift it over to a canvas. Now, I have my water source here. I'm actually going to put it to the right because I'm a righty. I have my brush. Gouache paint has like a chalky feel. It's kind of a thick watercolor, basically. You can water it down to really make it transparent, or you can use it nice and thick. What we're going to do for our picture here is start with our lighter colors and work our way out. So it's important to know the rainbow. We have the rainbow that is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So when we start with yellow, we'll want to work our way out. The trick though, most people don't seem to understand this, is it doesn't matter where you start on a rainbow. You just circle it around. It's a color wheel. So if we have a color wheel, and we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, or violet. No matter where you start on the color wheel, you need to continue. We always start with red. There's no reason that we start with red. We just do. So let's say we start with blue. We would do blue, purple, then red, then orange, then yellow, then green. So do you see how it's just a circle? So it doesn't matter where you start on this color wheel. You need to continue it, as many circles or rings as you have. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start filling in. I would like to use my yellow for the center. You can use whatever color you like, but here's the trick. Don't paint to the line. Paint just before you get to the line. Why would we do this? Because if we are painting almost to the line, but not to the line, we let it dry, we can erase our pencil lines, and we will have that white lead line, I guess you could say, between all of our colors. Take a look. Do you see all the white? That's what we're going to make if you keep it nice and tight. So I just did yellow. Without cleaning my brush, I'm going to switch to orange, which is red and yellow. And I'm going to continue filling in the rainbow of colors as I go around. I try and stay nice and neat. Right now it looks like a gory egg. Not so pretty. Okay. So once we have this part done, nice and neat, I will shift to my red. Now because you didn't wash your brush between the yellow and the orange, you're going to have this really cool blend. If you don't like it, you can fix it. I mean, you can fill it in a little bit more precisely, but I like it. So I'm going to keep it. Remember, there's no wrong way to do art. So you just fill it in. Take your time. Now we're going to pretend that I've done this entire red part just so I can go on to the next part for you. Alright, so pretend that I've finished. Then I'm going to dip in my purple. I didn't wash my brush, just going straight to purple. On the video it looks kind of blue. Sorry about that, but it is purple. Okay, and then we're going to switch to blue. And you're going to do it on this side as well. All right, so I want you to finish your sun, and we will get back together in just a moment. So go ahead and pause your video, finish your sun rays, don't go further than that, and we'll get back together. Okay, so I am getting close to finishing. Put my purple down here. I'm going to wash my brush off before I dip into my green, just because I have too much red in my brush, and I don't want a brown in my sky. So, because all three of your primary colors will make brown. So if you have yellow and red and blue in your brush at the same time, you might accidentally make a brown sun ray. And as beautiful as the color brown is, I don't see many brown sunsets. Hey, first time for everything, and it is art, so there's really not a wrong way to do it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start with this guy. Since we already have green on our brush, we're going to go ahead and do the green of that hill. If you're looking at your sample, you're going to notice it's darker in here and it gets lighter, and then this is the same color. So to make that darker color, I'm going to dip my brush in both blue and green at the same time. I'm going to fill that in, just the bottom little area of your hill. And now I'm going to switch to straight green. And I'm going to let it blend. As long as your paint is wet, you can blend. If it dries, all you're doing is painting on top of itself. Remember, go up to the line, but not into the line. And we're going to do the same thing for this top area. So go ahead, pause your video, and fill. If you want more blue, before you pause, if you want more blue in this hill, you can add more blue. If you feel like that's just not enough down there, take a little chunk of blue, toss it in there. See that? It's pretty. So then we're going to go ahead and start with this layer. Alright, go ahead and pause your video and finish that one layer. Okay, so I have done this hill, and now I'm going to work on this hill. This hill is going to be blue with some red mixed in it, so it's a little purple. I'm going to clean my brush off. I'm going to mix a little bit of red and blue at the same time so I get purple. Or you can use a straight purple. I like to make my own colors. It's just a habit. But feel free to use just the plain color. Now I've dipped into my solid blue. Come all the way around. Paint it the same way that you did it before. Add more red in it if you want more. This is your picture, so there's really not a wrong way to do it. So we're going to go ahead and pause while you finish the blue section. Remember, go up to the line, not into it, and fill in the whole thing. And then this top part is a little bit lighter, so we're going to do that in just a minute. Okay, for this top part, you're going to take your dirty brush, dip it in some white, just some regular white, and I'm going to fill that in. Do you see how it automatically turns into a light blue? Automatic. You're just making a blend. Dip into more white if you need more. And I'm going to pause it while you finish doing that. Alright, the next part is going to be our water, which is oddly red, but if you actually think about it, it's really not odd because it's a sunset or a sunrise, which means the sun is coming up or down and it's reflecting off the water. So we're going to just do our dark red, which would be a little bit of the purple mixed in with our red down here in this little crease. And then shift to just straight red after. Straight red. Remember, if you want more dark in there, go ahead and add more dark. This is where you get to take it to your own level. There's not a wrong way to do art. In fact, I applaud those who take risks. Remember, this is a practice round. You're going to have the option, if you choose to do this lesson all over again, but on your canvas. You're going to treat your canvas just like it is this paper. And you're going to fill it in just like it's this paper. You can change the colors up however you want to. Painting on paper and painting on canvas are very similar. That's why I didn't do a whole separate lesson on the canvas. You just fill it in just like it's paper. Now the only difference is it is a little bit bouncy because it's fabric stretched across an empty space. So it might bounce a little while you paint it. You can make a hole if you stab at it, but I don't think you're a very violent artist, so I think you'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead and take some yellow on my brush because I want to add a little bit of sunshine at the top of my red. And this is purely optional. I just feel like it needs it. You see how it looks dark to light? I think I like that very much. All right, so let's clean off our brush. Pick a color. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do yellow. I'm going to fill this one in yellow. I'm going to start with the light yellow at the top. And I'm going to work my way down. I'm going to add a little bit of red to my yellow. And that'll help it get an orange look. If you are able to paint quickly, you'll blend faster. If you're a slow painter, blending may be a little bit more difficult for you because you do have to work while it's still wet. And paint, especially on paper, doesn't stay wet very long. So blend it in as much as you can while it's wet. There you go. Clean off the brush. Dry it off. Pick another color. I'm going to go ahead and do blue. Actually, yeah, I'll do blue right here. Take some blue. I'm going to add a little bit of light to it. Make some blended areas. Now, if you're comfortable, you can go ahead and finish all of the colors, or you can paint along with me. Totally up to you. I'm not going to do anything super hard. I think you've pretty much got the technique down. I'm just going to keep filling it in. I like this variations of dark and light. It just, it's appealing to the eye. It doesn't look cartoony. I don't want a cartoon look. Oh, whoops, I didn't add white. So I have a little area up there that I didn't separate. I have my purple. I add a little bit of white to it to really lighten it up. Yeah, I like that. Make sure that your edges, you either go off the edge or you give yourself a nice straight line. Yeah, I like that. I'm not doing anything special other than just putting a color on top of a color. That's it. How about some green? I'm going to angle it a little bit so I can reach it. I am a righty and it's hard doing left sides without blocking the view of the camera. So I have my green, throw in some yellow. And fill. And the last one over here I think needs to be a red. It seems like red, red, and red would be ideal. You can pick whatever color you want to. I just think the red would be good. So I'm going to fill with my red. Nice solid red. And to really make it look light, I'm going to touch in some white, kind of pink it a little bit. There you go. So there is a gouache painting of Ted Harrison inspired work. Now when it's completely dry, and the way you can tell it's dry is it's not shiny anymore. When it is completely dry, I suggest 24 hours. Go in with a pencil eraser and erase all of your pencil lines that are visible between your colors, all of your white areas. Just erase them, and that'll clean up the whole painting. And the last thing that you're going to do is sign your artwork, as always. This is the paper version. If you choose to do the canvas, remember, it's just wood wrapped in fabric. You're going to draw the exact same thing that you did on here. You can rewind the video, show yourself, teach yourself. But now that you've done it once, you can take a look at the samples and maybe do that on your own. Try practicing. Remember, gouache works just fine on canvas. If your gouache seems really chalky and doesn't flow well, you can add a touch of water to it. Like I said, it is pretty much a watercolor that is just really thick. So if you add a little bit of water to it, that'll be okay. Don't add too much. It'll be too runny and you will ruin your work. It'll look too wet. I hope you enjoyed your lesson. I really enjoyed doing this one. Ted Harrison is one of my favorite artists. I love the values. I love the dimension. I think it's a very cool picture. It's a great exercise on blending. So thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.